Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the story. Real-life short story today. A usual morning at home. Family of Scott lazily from above. Downstairs room. Everyone was sitting at the dinner table full of Scott. Go down and bow to the adults. Hello grandma. Hello dad. Come down then. Eat at the dining table. No one said a word. The atmosphere between them is extremely strange. Outsiders looking in cannot recognize it. They are a family after finishing eating. Scott also quickly arrived at school when Scott. As soon as I got to school I received a phone call. The caller was her mother, Miss Anna. Scott was bored and picked up the phone on the other end. Immediately asked Scott, "Son, have you been? How are you? My baby's stomach is fine. Don't worry. Yes, no matter what you do, you have to pay attention to your strength. It's my health. I know today. I'm calling you. Is something wrong? It's Mom. I see you haven't come to play with Mom lately. So I miss you. I understand. Afternoon. After finishing school, I will come visit Miss Anna." I heard my daughter say that right away. Very cheerful but honestly speaking. So afternoon. Remember to stop by Mom. I'll wait for you later. After giving her a few words, Scott also turned off the phone. Actually, Scott is the young lady of a family. The prestigious family. Mr. Jose Scott's father is president of a real estate company. Even older, Scott is an only child. Don't have to worry about brothers. Spend assets a perfect life like. So Scott should have felt happy. But she's not like that at all times. I also feel very sad that I kept my promise. Scott arrived that afternoon. Visit her mother's house, Miss Anna, Maine. It was a small motel room where she saw her. When he arrived, he happily greeted Scott and looked around the house once and then said, "Why not, Mom? Have you moved to a more spacious place yet? This room looks so cramped. Mom is here." "Okay, honey. Anyway, I'll just stay there." Alone that day, Scott stayed to eat with Miss Anna until late at night. When Scott got home, she thought everyone was gone. Everyone was asleep, so she quietly went upstairs. His was at that time Scott's grandmother, also coming down from the room. Grandma saw it. Scott immediately asked where he went and just returned now. "Yes, I came to visit my mother." Grandma was not happy when she heard what she said. Said she did not forbid her nephew to visit his mother. But everything must have moderation. "Anyway, my mother had already held the number before." "Yes, I understand, Grandma." Seeing that Scott understood, she was relieved. Gently asked Scott if he has eaten anything yet. "I ate at my mother's house. I'm still hungry." "Don't let her. Ask someone to reheat the food for you." "No need. I'm still very full. I'm going to my room." She just said yes softly. Scott also went up after hearing that. His room when he reached her room. Not bothered to change clothes but just tired lying down. Down to his parents' bed. Scott does not live together between them. There was also no fairy tale wedding. Her mother was formerly a bar dancer. Her father is also a regular customer of the restaurant. Also a regular guest of her mother in one. When he was drunk, Mr. Jose forgot to use safety measures and she immediately forgot to take the main Scott contraceptive pill. Was the result of being drunk at that time. Mr. Jose is married to a woman. They don't marry other women either. Not for love but for the sake of both sides of those women's families. Miss Anna can't get pregnant. The pregnancy had reached her grandmother's ears. Give Miss Anna two choices. One is mother. Her child had to leave the country forever. If they return to this place, their families will too. If you don't accept the child, you will take the money, which she gave and gave the baby back to them. Nurture Miss Anna even though you don't want to. Leave your children but yourself can't afford to take care of it. Live well, she finally decided. Took the money and gave it back to Scott. Mr. Jose's family raised Marrow as. But in Miss Anna's heart, she still doesn't. She doesn't remember her child. Rented a room away from his house. Hoang, only 3 kilometers away. Lives by selling cakes. Noodle for a walk so that every time she misses Scott she can. It was easier to see Scott during. Scott was lying on the bed thinking. The phone's message alarm sounds. Pulled her back to reality. Scott opened the message. Phone up to check if it's news. Message content from her boyfriend Gregory. Message reminding me of tomorrow's appointment. The last two people in his message include a heart-shaped sticker. Very cute. Scott looked at the text above. Phone calls. All the fatigue in the body seems. It seemed like everything disappeared and a smile appeared. Gregory came to pick her up after school that day. The two of them walked through the streets together. Go to a small restaurant and lead her into him. Mastery opened the menu and ordered dishes. She likes Scott most at home looking at him. With joy shining in her eyes. She asked him, I always order the dishes you like to eat. Just eat whatever you like. I like you. I like you all. You're right. The two of them stopped talking for a moment. Then looked at each other and laughed happily. Gregory at that time. Then he slowly spoke to me. Prepare to go. This weekend my mother will come. Why is it so urgent to talk to you at my house? I'm still in school and better yet. If my mother likes you, I'm afraid she will. Don't like my appearance. No, don't worry. I showed my mom the photo. It's mine. I've met her several times. Then she complimented me on how beautiful I dressed like this. And with great style. Gregory had to say it all. Scott reluctantly agreed though. So in her heart she was still very worried. Scott is a fashionista who cuts shrimp and beef. Scott doesn't like makeup. I don't like wearing skirts. I don't like going high heels in unavoidable cases. She only wears it, but it's just that baggy dress over the knee in reverse. With Scott, Miss Catherine Gregory's mother is one again. Elegant woman on her body. Every hair clip and clothing exudes beauty. Luxurious and noble. That evening, Scott cheaply went to her grandmother's room. Seeing her coming, she coldly asked her nephew to come over. What's going on here? Suppose I have something to tell you. Go. Yes. Gregory's mother will come over this weekend to speak. Why is it urgent to talk to my family? So maybe I should have sex with him so I can spare him. That's it, isn't it? No, that's not it. It's because his mother wants it. The two families go back and forth to be close. Well, really cares about anything. But I know you two have it. Can we get married? You just need to be careful. Be careful not to be fooled by him. Yes. I know. Oh well, since they have that idea, let it be. When they came and there was nothing else, I went home. Scott heard that and quietly went home. In case Scott and Gregory knew each other. Her grandmother and father both knew they met him by accident. When he took her home. Even though he knew that. But my father's attitude was very cold. Grandma is quite worried because of her past. As also a famous playboy. She was afraid Scott would be taken by his appearance. I cheat so I remind you often. Know how to keep yourself very fast on weekends as well. Miss Catherine and Gregory went to Scott's house. Gregory was originally the son of his family. Also very rich. Gregory's father passed away when his grandmother was young. Kim raised Gregory alone. Both grown and poor. Against the company that her husband left behind because seeing that Gregory was really weak, she tried her best. Pamper yourself and don't let anyone harm you. His benefit the day Miss Catherine and Gregory to her house is also in the same time. Reduce Jose's in-house business trips only. Grandma alone welcomed the Moi family. It seems like everything went very smoothly. Grandma and Gregory's mother get along quite well so far. Eat when everyone is seated. The dining table and dishes were also served. Brought up all. Miss Catherine looked around one turn and asked Scott why not. Called my mother out to eat right away from the moment she arrived. I don't see my mother saying this anywhere. Of Miss Catherine immediately caused Scott in. Gregory was speechless about Scott's family. Gregory had heard her say it before. But the story, it's really difficult for her family to tell him. Haven't told his mother yet. Two people are not knowing what to do. How about calling Grandma, who spoke up? My family said it out loud because she was afraid that her aunt and grandchild would criticize her. Laugh, but I think sooner or later I also became a family member. I also want to tell you for later. Won't blame us either. Yes, sir. If you have anything to say, just say it. That's it. Grandma sighed and said, your parents. Scott doesn't live together either. Never married his mother before. Is a dancer at a 3-in-1 bar. Once drunk, he accidentally created it at home. I also don't want my children and grandchildren to fail. Lost outside, so had to bring it home to raise. Take care of its mother after giving it back to her. After we finished, we left Miss Catherine. I heard Scott's grandmother say this and came in. Together, surprise, who can think that? Lady of a prestigious family such as. So there is a mother who is a dancer at the bar. 3. But the atmosphere at the dinner table after that. Extremely embarrassed, Scott and Gregory were around. I could only lower my head and avoid it. Miss Catherine Scott's eyes were unexpected. That grandma could tell the story again. In such a gentle way she said it all. Di's only thing is that she holds prestige money. If you rape your mother, then it's okay to hide it. Well, they have to protect their son and their family's reputation. After dinner, Miss Catherine quickly urged Gregory to leave when the two of them got to the gate when Scott discovered that Miss Catherine had forgotten her electricity. She quickly ran after them outside. Bring Miss Catherine back to the place where it hasn't been played yet. I realized I forgot my phone for a while. The two people waiting for Miss Catherine's bus turned to blame. Why bother asking Gregory about Scott's family? Don't tell your mother in advance. I want to hide it from you, but I haven't found it yet. Get the right opportunity to say what you want. Say whatever you want, but immediately. Break it off with her, Gregory sounds like. So I panicked and told my mother no. Okay, Mom, I love her so much. Please don't take me away from her, but that girl, not suitable for your child from hairstyle and the way it dresses. Mother also did not. I like it because you said it was my daughter. Only a prestigious family can close her eyes. Open eyes and ignore that. Now I know. His mother was formerly a dancer. This story spread out from the bar. Outside, my family knows how to hide. Where? Mom, that cannot be reflected. Where is her personality as a person? You cannot choose your family. What the two of you said here is also correct. When Scott came out of the house to her, he heard her last words. After Kim Gregory finished speaking, he also distributed it. Appeared her presence, her face of. He turned pale and stammered as he said, Scott. Scott, what are you doing out here? She sounds like. That was a bit startling. But still. Calm down and come back, Scott. Try yourself. Brandon calmed down and walked in front of the two. They smiled and said, I see you. I forgot my phone, so I brought it here. Thank you. It's okay. No, there's nothing else. Please excuse me. Come into the house and I'll be careful. Then Scott turned around and prepared to go into the house, but was called back by Miss Catherine. Scott, wait a minute. I have something to tell you. I'm wondering what happened earlier. It's probably you too. I've heard it all. So me too. Let's be honest with you and my son. The thing is inappropriate even if she is a minor. Letter from a prestigious family. It's impossible to hide the past of my mother. I hope she understands and forgives. For my son, yes, I understand what you mean. Uncle, okay. Scott tried very hard to stop it. The tears did not come out, but no matter how hard I try, I can't stop it. Was the tremble in Gregory's voice as wanted to tell her something but couldn't. Miss Catherine stopped Scott and didn't even notice. Scott turned around and left with a face. His suffering went into his grandmother's house. She was standing on the stairs and saw her like. So let's talk about today. Now you don't have to blame me. If you want to blame your mother. Blame her. Why is there a past? If you're so dirty, I understand. You don't. There's no need to say that. Grandma, listen to me. Saying that, he coldly went up to Scott's room. I really don't blame her. Even less. Her mother, she knew if her mother had one. If the situation is good, no one wants to rush headlong. Even she doesn't blame her for going down that path. Her taking the money her grandmother gave her. For no one wants to live in circumstances. Needy but still carrying one child. The eldest girl just wished her mother would refuse the number. That money if her mother refuses maybe now. Scott was pushing the bread cart with her. Daily sales of frivolous things first. The eyes won't be there either. But if it's real, if that really happened, she would have resentment. Blame your mother not after that day. Gregory seemed to disappear from this world. If I don't see you anymore, call me too. Not being able to contact this is enough. Make her understand her love. Just like that broke up this morning above. A Scott school bench. Scott and Brandon were sitting there talking. She took out her phone and stubbornly called. Gregory tried again but it was still the same. Last time, her response was still words. Long tut-tut and soft voice. The general's voice rang out in the palace. Scott got bored and put the phone down on it. Sitting next to you is like understanding the situation. I asked him gently but he didn't listen. Machine yes. Scott leaned back in his chair tiredly. Seeing his friend like that, and immediately became concerned. I wonder what's going on between you and him. You even want to hide it from me. Scott, take a deep breath and then tell me about it. What happened at her house over the weekend? Before, she was just on the side listening silently. All of Scott's inner thoughts. When she finished speaking, Brandon told me that if, just because of this, he abandoned you, then neither do you or a person like him. So why bother seeing this door closed? Another door will open but, actually, I'm still very sad. I know, you won't be able to accept it for a while. You're a human who doesn't have feelings for you. It's natural to be sad. The important thing is that you don't let yourself be. When you fall, you have to know how to stand up later. It's difficult. Although Brandon has said a lot, Scott still, I can't calm down the sadness I see. My friend was like that so she immediately suggested, you should move out for a while. Time to move out to live. Well, maybe when changing an environment. If you live differently, your mind will think, how about more clarity? Scott listens to you. I said that and thought for a while but still. No reply. Brandon is Scott's best friend from when she was in high school. The two of you were friends at the same table before. Later became Ensign's best friend. Born in a normal family. Not very well off but she always. It's also very fun. That's enough to prove it. Her family is very happy. Brandon is also one of the few people who know about it. Scott's family scene although I know that. And always plays with her sincerely. Always give her advice every time. Scott is troubled after what happened at his house. I love Scott and it's never fun. Today when I saw her return to her house, I walked out of the house and saw Scott immediately. Tell me that looking at your niece's face is so boring. Also depressed about how my father can do business. Yes, I'm sorry. Mr. Jose from inside the house walked out just in time to hear the table's words. His grandfather still had a cold expression on his face. But in the meaning of the words there is a part. Stop defending your mother. Last time at home, your boyfriend Scott is here. Mom said like, so why scare people away? Ask, why isn't she sad about business? Whether yours is favorable or not doesn't matter. Depends on how she feels. I like to draw stories. Hey mom, did you say that? Must be worried about my child or oh Mr. Jose. Don't continue to listen to your mother anymore. So I left and went to my grandmother's house without my uncle. Paying attention to Scott, he followed Mr. Jose into the house. Scott didn't have class that afternoon. Mr. Jose, who studied at the school, also went. Did it a long time ago while she was lying down listening. I suddenly heard music in my room. The noise below the house intrigued Scott. Immediately went down to see what was happening. Down to the place that caught her eye. The image of her grandmother trying to pull her mother out of the gate in her mouth also. constantly cursing Miss Anna here, holding on to the gate while Grandma Scott, trying to push her out while pushing. She just said go away. What are you doing here? I beg you, please let me come in and see you. Just for a moment. Daughter, I said no. Yes or no, I'll give it to you. Visiting her from time to time is also a reason. It's a lot of concessions. When she took the money, she promised, how about me? You won't let me. I can come in, but please take me there. Put these things in for her to help you. And underneath Miss Anna's feet is chicken egg wrap and a large fruit wrap on the side. Inside are all kinds of fruits. Like Grandma, see that not only not. On the contrary, she still holds the cards. The bundle was thrown onto the street in surprise. Miss Anna's chest threw her away. Miss Anna's forehand fell to the ground and told her to hold these cheap gifts. Go home. Scott lives here very well. Good. It doesn't need things like this. No, I need those things. Scott witnessed her grandmother's actions. For her mother, she quickly ran to help her mother, stood up and turned to look at his grandmother. With angry eyes, she said, why did she endure? Why do you treat my mother like that? Like that? Now I'm for my mother. But that lady is right. Then wrap it up. Follow your mother. Don't forget me. I still depend on this house very much. Many women don't need to chase you away. Will definitely move away to hear what they have to say. Scott's grandmother's harshness is still very hard. The snake replied that grandmother found it impossible to threaten. She just got angry and went into the house. After Grandma left, Scott turned to asked my mother if she was okay. She was not. But why did you talk to Grandma like that? So no matter what Grandma says, I have to endure it. It's because my mother always lives with restraint. It's humiliating, so people have an excuse to look down on you. Miss Anna, listen to me. When the girl says this, she can only stay silent. What to say? Finally, she looked at Scott and said, Mom is fine, but I don't want to. I have to suffer. Scott, just hearing that, know how to avoid tears after taking it. Once she calmed down, she turned to ask her mother, Mom came here to look for you. What's going on? So why haven't you come to visit Mom lately? Calling me doesn't work. I thought you did. I'm sick, so I bought some fresh fruit. But now all the fruit is damaged. Then I was a bit startled when I heard this. Probably because I've been thinking about it lately. It's about Gregory. So my mother called her several times. I didn't pay attention and didn't want to let my mother worry. It was quiet, so Scott just had to make a big sword. Let's just talk about it. It's probably because of this. I was so busy that I didn't pay attention to Mom's phone. Don't worry, I'll go home in a few days. Go play with Miss Anna's mother and listen to her daughter. Having said that, I'm very happy to teach my children more. A few more sentences and then he left that night. Scott thought a lot about it. Moving out. Perhaps Brandon is right. When she moves out, maybe she will have one. More thorough thinking will also escape from the reputation of being a parasite. In what her grandmother said the next day. When Scott returned from school, she was up my room and started cleaning things up. Moving out. She also told Brandon first. Eyes as Scott will live with Ancho too. When Scott found another place he liked. If it's more appropriate, will you pass it on to Scott? Can stay in the school dormitory by if one. A young lady like you who lives in a dormitory will create. So the words. After packing, Scott carried the suitcase. My little one downstairs, Grandma, maybe. I also predicted this, so I did. Sitting in the living room waiting for Miss Scott. I immediately saw my grandmother sitting in the living room. Spoke up and said yes. Please give it to me. It's okay to move out and live today. Mr. Jose is out on business. Maybe. It will take a few more days for my grandmother to listen to me. Saying so, he immediately dropped the glass of water in his hand. I'll go down to the table. I'll say it calmly. If she wanted to leave, she wouldn't keep it. But here she stopped. After a while, he continued talking about clothes. If it's yours, you can't bring any more. Any item in this house. Even the card my dad gave me. Must leave. Yes, I know, Scott. Quickly leave the bank card on the table. Grandma saw this and Toy's face still showed an expression. Cold, but the voice has a part. Whatever you care about, do it to preserve your health. That's fine. If you find life outside difficult. If it's too much, come back here. Scott nodded. Lighten your head and then go out to talk to him. Scott was like that, but when Scott left, Mrs. still standing, looking at her shadow, she bowed. Just reassure yourself and let it go like that. When he knows he is suffering, he will be reluctant to go home. Kept her promise. She only carried it. It's my suitcase of clothes. She also has her own living vehicle. Leave Scott, take a taxi too. Straight to Brandon's boarding house. She saw Scott. When I arrived, I was very happy and quickly cleaned up. Clothes due to no longer being provided for by family. Scott's family had to find a job to cover the living expenses of God. Don't destroy Miss Scott's way of life. Found a job as a teacher. English for a center near Mac's house. Even though she is studying pedagogy. Because she hasn't graduated from school yet and doesn't have one yet. Experience in teaching, so they just let her work as a contract teacher. Salary 8 million Vietnamese dongs next month. When the probationary period ends, they will raise you. Become an official teacher with salary. Will also be raised to 15 million monthly. Received the notice. Scott immediately reported the news. This is fun. Let Brandon know she heard that right away. Happily hugged Scott and said to congratulate him. Glad you found a good job. Let's go celebrate. Let's go eat hot pot. Going to a familiar restaurant. The two happily took me. After each other went to the familiar restaurant upstairs. Glanced at the menu. The two also chose. Get your favorite dishes in the second hour. People are enjoying the food also. Don't forget to raise a glass to celebrate your work. New by Scott. Brandon eating happily. Suddenly, her eyes glanced over. Corner of the food noodle shop. Planning to deliver. Into her mouth was immediately dropped onto her. Smacked Scott's hand and said, Hey, look over there and see if it's there. Did your Mr. Gregory hear that? Scott also turned to look in the direction that Brandon pointed. Although she could only see her back. But it can be confirmed that it is Gregory, her boyfriend. He's with one other girls, but both Scott and Brandon couldn't see her face clearly. Hot-tempered person Scott cannot accept. Except that Gregory's story is not over yet. I'm going to open up with another girl. She quickly stood up and walked towards the two. The person named Brandon saw this and quickly said in panic, Wait, Scott, calm down first. Anger opened Miss Scott's mind. I didn't want to listen to Brandon anymore and just kept going. Back to the table. The two. Brandon saw that I could only helplessly run after Miss Scott. Go to the two of them. Perhaps Gregory also. Sense someone walking towards you. I should have turned around at the same time. When he saw a full face in front of him, Scott's killing intent made him a little startled. Asked Scott, Why are you here? What about you? Why are you here? You never cut off. Surely it's me and I'm with a girl. Why are you such a stupid bastard? When Gregory still hadn't responded to the girl who was with him. I said, This girl, who are you? I still have the right to say that to Mr. Gregory. Before asking her, she automatically answered, Then I'm his girlfriend. The other girl squinted slightly when she heard Scott say that. His eyes closed a bit as if trying to remember something. Finally, she raised her voice and said, I remember I heard Kim say it. Talking about her, she said that she is also my daughter. Rich girl, but her mother's passed. Too dirty for a dancer at Ba Con Mang restaurant. Pregnancy of a married person. I see you here today. Indeed. Surely she also inherited many copies. Is it my mother's command? Scott heard someone insulting her mother. She was very angry. Immediately walked over and looked down at her face. Slapped very hard. Scott acted too quickly. Everyone stood around and no one stopped them. Just in time, she received a sudden slap and fell, falling to the ground. Gregory saw this and immediately walked back. Help her ask like, are you okay? After finishing the fight, Scott pointed his finger in her face and warned her. What are you talking about? Okay, but if you dare to touch your mother, I do not forgive the bride. As follows. A minute to calm down and then stand up. Rushed to Scott's place as she spoke. Yelled at you bitch, don't you dare hit me. Gregory, and was also prepared at this time. Immediately stopped the two of them to avoid this from happening. Big fight, but the two girls still see each other is very enthusiastic. That's what created it. A loud noise in the village of Gregory also attracted the attention of the guest around, but that also can't stop the two's enthusiasm. That girl, the argument just ended when they heard Ton scream from an employee, Miss, are you okay? No, that scream immediately attracted Scott and everyone's attention. This at the same time. Turn around and distance yourself. Not far enough for her to recognize who was there. Fainted in the arms of the employee who was the mother. Scott and Brandon rushed back to the Capitol. Gregory also wanted to run after him, but he was caught. Keep her and tell Mr. Gregory you are planning to leave me alone here? You do that. Speak and talk. What about your mother and my family? Scott and Brandon had now arrived at her place. Lean Scott rushed through the crowd. Catch her mother. Her tears were flowing down her cheeks. She said in sobs, Mom, wake up. Come on, Mom. What's wrong with Ani and her friends? She's still a calm person. Take out your phone and call an ambulance. Quickly, Miss Anna was taken to the hospital. Miss Anna was immediately brought into the room. Scott and Brandon emergency room, just worried. Wait outside for a while. After a long time, the doctor also went out. He took off his mask. The page asked loudly who was the patient's family member. Is it me? Scott quickly ran when he heard that. To the doctor she could not hide. Concern was clearly visible on his face. I asked with a somewhat trembling voice. Doctor, what's wrong with my mother? She has it. Heart disease and high blood pressure occur again. Something that makes you feel agitated. Should temporarily faint. Current situation. Hers has also stabilized but still need to stay for more monitoring. Yes, I feel. Thank you very much, doctor. I heard that, then nodded and said hello to her. Left soon after a short while. Miss Anna has finally woken up. The first thing she saw was the ceiling. White with the smell of antiseptic. Straight into their noses as if they were breathing. Tell her that she is at the hospital. Scott is now sitting next to his mother. I saw her wake up and she was so happy. Tell Mom, she's awake. She feels inside her. Mom, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I fell asleep on a nearby chair and heard it. Scott's voice also woke up and saw her. Lean woke up and Brandon immediately went to call Dr. Sao. After a checkup, the doctor confirmed that it was. Miss Anna's condition is not worth it. I just need to rest for a few more days. Can leave the hospital. After the doctor left, Brandon turned around. Tell Scott if you've woken up. I'm going home too. Please stay inside. Hey, if you have anything, I'll bring you food. Until Miss Anna was taken out of the room, Scott said that Brandon should go home. Before leaving her alone, Brandon left. She was so worried about her friend. Decided to stay until Miss Anna came back. Scott's new decision was unshakable. It was my friend's decision, so I just agreed. Oh, thank you very much. You can go home. First, I can take care of myself. Listen to you. I say that and feel somewhat reassured. Come say hello to Miss Anna and leave. After saying goodbye, Scott turned to ask his mother. I'm hungry and I don't want to eat. Why don't you let me go buy it? Mom, it's okay. I don't want to eat anything. Why are you still here? Are you not going to school today? Today, I would like to take a leave of absence and leave my mother in the hospital. Alone. How can I rest assured? Mom is right. The mother is useless because of her love. The child is just starting out and even hinders work. Scott listened to Miss Anna, saying that made me a little startled. Went to ask her, Mom, You heard everything. Why? I can't hear you. We're still here. It was like that in the middle of the bar. But Scott heard that. He slightly lowered his eyes and did not answer after commenting. Calm down. She smiled and said gently. Mom, it's okay. Everything is okay. This is not because of the mother. People are not brave enough to be with their children. You just have to cope with difficulties. Thank you, Mom, because thanks to you I can see clearly their true faces, although Scott said like that, but Miss Anna's heart is still there. I blame myself very much. She blames me for giving birth. Came out but did not protect or help anything. My child, on the contrary, she is correct, is the burden that hinders it when Miss Anna near. After leaving the hospital, another thing happened to her. Scott's grandfather thought she was just angry. I'm so upset that I want to move out. After just a few days, she couldn't bear her suffering. Would go home, but not this time she did. I haven't seen Scott in a week. When she got home, she didn't call about this either. Made her worried today when she preparing to go to the hospital to visit his mother. Then received a phone call from Scott's grandmother. Without thinking much, I picked up Grandma's phone. As soon as I saw you pick up the phone, I told you, what are you doing now? Are you living well? It's okay. What did you call me today? So, someday I plan to go home and play P. That letter is enough. You don't have to today. I told you I'm going. Why? Now we need to be independent and take care of ourselves. What are you talking about in your life? So when you go out like that, I know how to eat. How to tell my dad tell me. She has wanted her to go home for a while now. I'm just afraid that Mr. Jose will come home. I don't see you scolding her, Scott. This side just listens to what she says. Replied with a bored look on his face. If you say something, you won't take it back. From your father's side, you will have your own way of speaking. Won't get her involved. Why are you so stubborn? Before now, I'll listen to whatever you say. Stop. After a moment, her grandmother seemed to accept. Said something in a harsh voice. Is the phone from your mother? She asked me to contradict you. Grandma. Oh, you're grown up now. Not a kid anymore. But anything. Must listen to mother. Every decision is up to you. Make your own decisions without having to obey anyone else's. If not, what else? I'm hanging up now. Finished speaking without waiting for her. If Grandma said anything more, Scott immediately turned it off. Machine. This makes her grandmother even more. Got angrier after Scott shut her down. Immediately picked up the phone and called someone. When Scott entered the hospital, she saw him. My mother is on someone's phone. With 2 tears flowing down Miss Anna. Seeing her come in, he immediately turned off the phone and wiped it away. Scott saw his mother in tears. So he quickly walked over and asked his mother with concern how she was. So who called me? Scott? Moved out of the house. Didn't you listen to me? When asked like that, she was very surprised and then guessed. Who just called Scott's mom? A little angry, he asked if it was his grandmother calling. Mom, is that right? What did she say to you? That doesn't matter anymore. Now listen to me and move home. Living outside like that is very difficult. Mom, I'm grown up. Mom, let me make my own decisions. My life. Why do you have to be afraid? Scared of her like that? Scott, let's stop. Let's stay here. Mom, let's rest. Get well so you can leave the hospital soon. After a few days, Miss Anna was fine. Discharged from the hospital. Grandma called later that day. Gave it to Scott several times, but every time she also refused her request after. Miss Anna is out of the hospital and visits her often. But every time I visit her, advised her to go home gradually so she wouldn't have to. Heard that story the number of times she visited her. Lean also gradually became less and Scott also started his work even at the time. In her spare time she also receives additional documents. Scott still lives with Anhai. People share money for lodging and food together. The car is the only means of transportation. She also left her bag at home when she left. Brandon would drive her to school. But when Scott left, if you do, Brandon can't carry you because she also got his part-time job on another route Scott just had to sign up for. A private driver package on Grab with rates. The price was 800 Vietnamese dongs per month when she signed up. This driver package has a motorbike taxi driver. Nagy always waits for her. That is his husband. If you ride the car 10 times, there will be 8 of them. Met him. Mr. Kong is a very good person. Friendly and funny. This also makes Scott feel comfortable on my way to work today. As usual, she went to the alley to wait for Kong. Came to pick him up and smiled as soon as he arrived. Tell her I've been waiting for you for a long time and haven't apologized yet. I'm so stuck in traffic. It's okay. I understand. Guys, I'm not late on my way to work. Often tell stories Hussy do. Scott was very happy and the road seemed well. According to the public's story, it's not short. Soon she arrived at her workplace. The day we met at Scott's restaurant is gone. Met Gregory again and it was like she and him again. Just like that, we end all thoughts. In this life she will not meet them, but today. As soon as he got out of the car, Scott saw it. A familiar figure walked towards me. While Scott still doesn't realize this is it. Whoever it was, that person walked towards her. A somewhat sarcastic female voice rang out. This isn't Scott. Why does Scott see that person calling my name? Was a bit surprising. Then she remembered the owner. That voice is like she is not going alone but with Miss Catherine. Scott really don't want to talk to them, just nodded to Miss Catherine and turned away. Walker. Scott had not gone more than a few steps. Miss Catherine called me back. Please stop. Is there anything you want to tell me? What are you doing here? This is where my nephew works part-time. Any comments? Don't do anything more like. And Ms. When Kim heard this, he was very surprised. But then he still smiled and looked at her alone, contemptuously saying it wasn't her father. He's also very rich. Why did he leave his daughter? Should I work part-time like this or be a servant? Revealing her mother-like nature. Being kicked out of the house is a family matter. My family has nothing to do with you. What are you doing here? What a coincidence. My aunt also works here. Scott listen. Came here very suddenly. She did it here near a month but have never met him. It's probably because the two people are different. That's why we haven't seen each other in a few days. Moment of surprise. Scott immediately told the two of them no. Is there anything else that bothers the two of you to avoid? Let me go. You're being a bit rude. I haven't finished talking to you yet. Do you want to go again? Scott heard Miss Catherine say that. Very tired. She became impatient. Tell her what's wrong. Speak quickly. I warn you to stay away. My son, you don't deserve him. Look, this is the worthy person. Make my daughter-in-law her family name. Price. My parents are both university lecturers. The family doesn't have the same stains as you do. If you know what to do, let your son go. I'm going. Sorry, but it seems you have. There's some misunderstanding here. You and your son. I finished it a long time ago. Now he, who you know, is no longer your business. Besides, your son is not worth anything. To the point where I have to follow you. After speaking, Scott raised a smile, smiled disdainfully and turned around to leave her. Kim saw that she looked down on her son. Such a very angry attitude of Scott. Not like what that like told. Basically, Scott never left his son. Her eyes were not just Miss Catherine but as standing next to her was also very angry. Secretly planning revenge. Scott ended up slapping Mr. Jose later that day. I have returned from work for a while. When he got home he was very angry because the fact that Scott had moved out to live with him. Turned to question his mother. Mother, what do you do that makes Scott have to clean up? What do you do when you go out to live like that? Because it's so bad, it wants to move out. But do you still want to lie to me? Mom, why did she move away without doing anything? If it lays eggs like Mom said, why The card and the car are not carried around. Just carried. Wear some clothes. Mom is really tired. Mr. Jose, I don't know if that's right. How to answer Mr. Jose, so just have to. Silence. Mr. Jose saw that his mother was not speaking. What makes him even angrier than what he said? Shouted at her 20 years ago. My mother stopped her. Stop my love, and now I want to. Blocking my father-son relationship. Why, Mom? It's really too arbitrary after saying that. After that, he immediately took my coat. If I go out alone, let my grandmother have it. Stand there and call after Mr. Jose. Go out immediately and give orders to the secretary. Find out her whereabouts when you know the location. Scott's only Mr. Jose immediately drove. The car arrived there when Mr. Jose arrived at Brandon's place as well. She just came out of her room today. I was sick, so I gave Scott my car to drive over school, and I was at Brandon's house to see him. Hoang immediately realized that this was Scott's father. Startled and said, "Hello, hello, let me ask you a question. Scott is here with you, right?" Hearing that, she was momentarily startled. Don't know how to respond to Brandon, scared that Mr. Jose came here to coerce. My friend came home as if he could read my mind. In Brandon's eyes, Mr. Jose immediately smiled. Don't be afraid. I won't force Scott to return. The investor will definitely respect the decision. Its intention, even though he said so. But Brandon still didn't believe it, so she looked at him. He looked at it from top to bottom. His attitude is much more sincere than hers. It's just that outsiders shouldn't interfere too much into their family matters. Thinking so, Brandon immediately said hello and invited him into the house. I'm sure Scott will be back soon. Sir. Hoang was very happy when he heard that and went into the house. And also politely poured water for Mr. Hai. People sat and waited for a while. Then Scott also left. About her, she was still very carefree and said "Hey, I bought you porridge." When I entered the house, I saw Mr. Jose sitting in front of him. Scott hesitantly bowed his head. That said, I say hello to the atmosphere at this time. Very embarrassed, Brandon found himself here. It's not convenient, so I took the bag of porridge in my hand. Scott and said, just sit and talk. Let's talk to you. I'm still tired. I went upstairs to rest in my room, and has a small attic where it is just the place to pour, just as Brandon's sleeping place it is listed. It's so high that it almost touches the ceiling. So when up there, Toy can still hear them talking. But the two people below won't mind when talking to each other after Brandon came up. After guarding, Scott turned to ask Mr. Jose. Just a formal sentence. Dad just came back from a business trip. Dad, I just got home. How is life these days? Is there a lot of poverty? I still live well. Now I also have my own job, so I'm not too needy. Scott, saying so, Mr. Jose temporarily said no. I don't know what else to say. The atmosphere suddenly turned sour. So silence. Finally, Scott is human again. Speak up first. Dad, I think now I should be independent. Dad, don't make me come back. Is the house okay? If you don't want me, I won't force you, but at least I will. I should live in an apartment instead. How narrow is the motel room? If I can bear you being here, that's fine. Again, I live here with my friends. Relax. Mr. Jose see that he is not. There's no way to sway Scott's decision. So just support her. Two people sitting. Let's talk to each other for a while longer. Mr. Jose also stood up and said, stop now. It's late. Dad's going home too. Yes, Dad. Return carefully. When he stood up, Mr. Jose pulled it from his pocket. My door came out with a stack of new 500 bills. He put it into Scott's hand and told him, take this money and buy some items. If necessary, use it. I saw the room, too. The kid in the elementary school spends too much. Dad, just keep the money. Go. You also have your own job. Will. I can take care of my best friend by myself. No, I'll just do it. Take it and make your father happy. But don't take it. Dad is very sad. The two of them just stood there, struggling forever. Scott was still the one. She couldn't win against her father. She just couldn't help it. As long as Kwong takes that money, Mr. Jose. Seeing that she had taken the money, he happily went home. Scott knows his father is very Scott himself. But he's normal. The day he appeared extremely cold, but all his actions were for her. Filled with love for T. Scott since he was a child. Hoang was always the one who stood up to protect her. Every time Scott was scolded by his grandmother. Something. In the blink of an eye. A few years have passed. Scott too graduated and was accepted as a teacher. Official member of the hair center. What was short for her before is now long. Comes across my life and work. She just passed peacefully like that. Occasionally I hear some sarcastic comments from. But that's not the point. Big today she just finished her teaching shift. I was waiting for the car to pick me up. Scott did not notice a middle woman. The young man rushed towards her and pulled her hair. She just said, "This bitch you dare to rob my husband. I will let you die today." Scott's hair was suddenly grabbed so he couldn't make it in time. Avoid. She just tried to free her hand. The woman spoke out in pain. "Who are you? I don't know you very well. If you let me go quickly, some people will fight." Wrong person. Wrong kid. Even dared to simulate their fight. Attract the attention of everyone around. Surrounded mainly by parents and students. Of the center they stood there in large numbers, but no one is willing to help Scott. The woman saw everyone standing. If you watch it in large numbers, you can say it louder. Everyone looks at her young age and bad habit of making Tiu Tam steal her husband. My people looked carefully at the house to keep. Be careful with your husband. The surrounding crowd did not know the truth. Just hearing her say that made me cry. Squinted and scolded her. Oh my God, look. With such a face, she snatches someone else's husband. Really good? Society is in chaos now. Then she is not my teacher. This center has such a personality. How can you teach other people's children? While everyone is talking non-stop. As we dispersed, a tall figure cut in. Past the crowd of people walking towards her. That's what he did when he walked around and waved his hand. The other woman came out and told me who they were. Why did I beat her? She stole my husband. I'm not allowed to hit him. But who are you? You don't need to interfere in this matter. Know who I am, but you beat someone like me. So it's illegal. Believe me, I called. Do you have any evidence? I think she stole her husband without a woman. That woman heard the peacock's tough voice. Immediately showing fear, she turned to look. Scott took a moment and then said, "I'm sorry. Looks like I'm the wrong person." She said, "Wrong person. That's it." Listen to what she said. So the more angry she saw the attitude. His friend was a little scared and turned away. Please understand, I am old. Mistakes are a matter of course. She and her accomplices ran away. Losing the crowd and seeing everything is just understanding. Do it immediately and quickly disperse as expected. This matter is over and done with. Another thing happened the next day. Scott was right. It is very difficult to hide the marks. Bruises on her face. She still went to work. As usual, when she arrived at the center door, I saw a lot of parents standing there. The principal of the center is trying. Scott reassured those parents very much, wondering what's going on. What in the meantime a parent has. Seeing her, he immediately spoke up to everyone. She arrived at the same time as the ladies. He returned together as one person. The women in there spoke up and she still dared. Come here to teach. A teacher like you. Go teach so our children can learn. What are your bad habits? What are you talking about? What is it? Why can't I go? Get up. She even dared to ask to look online. Full of videos of her being jealously beaten. There. Scott was startled when he heard that. I opened my phone to see. It's true. Someone posted a video of what happened to her yesterday. Post those videos online? When you turn it all over, it only turns the beginning of the story. The story goes on and she apologizes to her for making a mistake. Some people didn't have it last night when they got home. The Scott family felt what was happening to them. Today's fight is not normal. Now she can be even more certain that someone wanted to harm me. Scott turned around, planned to tell the other parents. It's true that the person in that video is me, but that was just a misunderstanding. It's not worth it if someone intentionally put together that video misunderstood. She saw it. Who does bad things and admits it? Without saying much, the principal had to be fired. What she doesn't do, we'll leave it to you. I took a day off from school at the crowd center. An agitated then helpless headmistress. I can only express my respect to the ladies. Please calm down. This is for sure. Our center will give it to you. A satisfactory answer. Ladies and gentlemen. He heard that and gave a few more warnings. Then they pulled each other out after they left. The principal called Scott into his office. Talk when you two sit down. Scott immediately told her. Actually, there are people in this story. Damn you, you're really not that kind of person. So you know, and you also believe me. The problem is that people's parents don't. I believe if this matter is resolved now, if things go wrong, the center will lose its reputation. So what are you going to do? Scott, I see you work at the center. I haven't had one in a few years. Any day off, so let's take advantage of this opportunity. Give yourself a break for a while. Once everything is settled, I can go back to teaching. In Scott's heart, he really didn't wanted to, but the principal said so. Ms. You can only listen after class. That day Scott was in a depressed mood. When I got home, I noticed it on the way home. Her attitude was a bit different, so she asked me, "Are you still sad about yesterday?" "No, what is it? Looks unhappy. Yesterday someone filmed the part where I got beaten up and posted it online. Parents today come to the center. Many people asked the principal to let me take a day off." "What did the principal say?" "She said that I should rest for a while. Come on, everything calms down and go back to teaching." When Scott said this, the air pulsed. The surroundings suddenly subsided and stopped for a moment. "I just spoke English and saw you resting. A good time, you know. There's a homestay on Lyon. I'll go there. Change the atmosphere and know the mood. Better yet, everyone needs it for themselves. Rest time where she ponders words." It's true that public speaking is not wrong. When she changed, the air opened up again to her. New opportunities. Thought so. Scott immediately asked, "Please help me contact the owner of the apartment." That homestay. After Scott's parents looked, seeing the video, they immediately called to ask. Visited her in a voice that couldn't be hidden. The worry she reassured her parents in. Talk about planning to travel to Da. Lat. Two people strongly support the decision. Her blink of an eye was the time of departure. She and Brandon took the bus to Lyon and went to the homestay that he had mentioned. When she arrived, she was quite surprised with the presentation. Each room is decorated in its own way, although the room is small, but very neat and clean. Very important is the interior decoration here, similar to the type of decoration she likes later in the day. That day, the two of them went to visit everywhere. Where Brandon is someone who enjoys taking photos. Just recently went one day that she made Scott take a shot. Gave her nearly 100 pictures of that afternoon. The two returned to the homestay to rest. Homestay residents must cook for themselves. And Scott doesn't want to go out. "I still have to worry about cooking. So that's it. Thanks to homestay for preparing the meal for two people when other guests still arguing about which one is the same. Any chili sauce is Brandon and Scott. There was a hearty table of cashew nuts, especially when there are dishes on the dining table. Scott likes Brandon without thinking much. But Scott was very thoughtful because if place ready-made food like this on the dining table, it can't be all she likes to be safe. Just put a piece of food in your mouth and slide it." The phone in her hand suddenly turned. "Told me, Scott, your paragraph has been removed. People, the woman who beat me the other day spoke up. Sorry again. I just watched it with Scott, said as he took Anne's phone. Just like she said the videos were. Everything ended very smoothly, as if someone had intervened to help her. So Scott suddenly realized something and quickly left. The dining table went out when she came out. Outside in the garden, he saw Gregory sitting and standing. Put on the swing he saw her. Then quite startled, probably want to avoid. But there was no time for thousands of lines of text to run through Scott's head. He met you again. What should X say now while she? Gregory was lost in his thoughts. Walked in front of her and smiled. Tell me not to think too much anymore. If I wanted to avoid you, I wouldn't have come here. How do you know I'm here? My homestay sees the room registration with your phone number, that's why I came. When Scott heard this, he was a little surprised and looked closely. That he really lost his appearance. The young man from a few years ago now. Look at him maturely. Silhouette of a businessman in the middle of the air. The two of them fell silent for a moment. Silence to break the atmosphere. Scott immediately spoke up that he had lived like that for the past few years. You are always good. You have separated from help. My mother's degree runs her own business. Although at first he failed. He still trying because here he is a bit. Hesitantly took a deep breath and then again. Continue talking because he wants to become strong. Only then can I protect you. Protect the girl he loves. Don't say that we are done. Ended a few years ago and not that year. Neither you nor I have ever said 2 words. Break up. I'm so sorry because of you. I just think I need to become strong. Protect you. I forgot that if it were. So I'll leave you alone now. No matter what you say. We won't. Can you and Scott come back again yet? Finished the sentence with the image of a child. The old girl came and knelt at his feet. Gregory, that person is just like her, crying. Tell Gregory the first no, it's wrong. Please don't. Can you sue me? If it's my parents. Knowing this, they will not live. The loss of my career will also happen because of that. But when it ended, she stood up and begged me. It wouldn't be any use if you already knew. So why did she still rent before? You defamed Scott's reputation. You don't know that doing so will also have an impact. To her, Gregory, the first no, everything is wrong. It's all because I love you so much. I still see you. Always silently observe and help her. Contacting the center to accept her. Come in and help her find another job. The translator finds out her situation. Through his cousin's actions. That move made me very jealous for a moment. I'm really not thinking clearly. I know it's wrong. Mr. Gregory, please forgive me. I'll go. I'll stand up and go. Then let's go. Know how to be responsible for those. What I do, stand aside. Listen to your entire conversation. Only now did she know Gregory. Because of me I do too many things. Was the person who helped her solve the case. In that video, he sacrificed as much for her. Yet she still blamed him. While Scott was still thinking. It was filmed. Sang grabbed her leg and said, Scott, I really knew it was wrong. Please. Tell him for me, please, just. If you need to talk. He will definitely listen. Like, I really can't help my aunt. I apologized. But when I saw Scott refusing, I immediately hung up. His head fell to the ground. Gregory saw that and immediately left. Pulled her up again and said, like, you don't force her anymore if you want, Dad. Your mother is not suffering. So face it bravely. With his mistake go, his saying. Like a strong hammer down on her penis. I don't want to scream or cry anymore. Stand up and say, you're right, I get it. I will face my mistakes. Then she turned to Scott and bowed. Said sincerely, Scott, again I sincerely apologize. I'm sorry for everything I did. Having said that, she also slowly turned around. Back that walks Gregory and Scott stand behind. Look at that until it disappears. The gate when walking like a chest bowed its head. The child said to Gregory, I'm sorry because of you. Doing so many things you not only. No thanks. You still blame me. Gregory heard her say that and immediately smiled. He hugged her tightly and said, It's okay to whisper in her ear. Just, from now on, I will be by your side. I don't need anything else in my life. Scott heard, so he wrapped his arms tightly around his back. His vast sunset shines on too. Who creates an infinite scene? Romance while two people are sinking. Immersed in happiness. The phone rang. Scott's voice rang out again and the two saw him. So Scott quickly let go of each other, picked up the phone, and a voice rang out on the other end of the line. Of her grandmother, she said, sobbing. Scott, 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 what's wrong with you? Yes, what's going on? Calm down. Tell me. Scott heard his grandmother's voice like that, both worried but still trying to reassure him. His grandmother Gregory stood next to her and saw her, saying that also seemed worried. After a while, calm down. Grandma just told you, Dad. The child had an accident and is being treated in the hospital. Hospital, she doesn't know its situation yet. Anyway, I'm so scared that I'll miss your father. What happened? How could she survive? She said, why did your father have an accident? Please calm down. When I got home, I immediately heard that my father had an ear problem. Scott was extremely worried. Gregory stood by the side, also heard the story after. Scott turned off the phone and immediately told the cleaning lady, come on, can I get a car to take you back to Scott? In response, Gregory just rushed in. Home then all three of them quickly also. Together in the city when they arrived. Immediately go to the hospital right now. Mr. Jose has been transferred to the recovery room. Strength after asking where his father was lying. Scott and everyone quickly ran. When she got there, she saw her grandmother, and her mother was there. She quickly went back to bed. My father's illness asked him if he was okay. Why did Dad have an accident? So Dad, it's okay. I only had a broken leg and it was rotten because my father was crossing the street. If you don't pay attention, you'll get hit by someone. You made me worry so much. It's okay. Dad, sorry Dad made my trip again. I'm no longer happy. What are you talking about? What's left? What is more important than your health? Dad, Mr. Jose was hit by a car. Although his body, nothing serious but left leg, it was broken and had to be in a cast the whole time. Miss Anna often goes to the hospital to take care of her grandparents. Little by little, she was afraid he would eat it. The food at the hospital was unfamiliar, so she left. The market cooks his favorite dishes. Entering him, he also felt the plate. Her heart is very delicious to eat. He recovered quickly and she often massaged him. In the afternoon, she helped him learn to walk for two people. He walked and talked happily. Since the day she took care of him, he has also smile more and be more approachable thanks to Miss Anna. Taking care of him helped him recover faster. Grandma and Scott both saw the change. Mr. Jose's changes over the years. That Scott had never lived with her grandfather. Seeing him so happy and cheerful, Grandma also felt it, so her attitude towards Scott's mother. It was no longer as harsh as before. Today Scott and Gregory went to the hospital to visit their father. When they arrived at the door of the hospital room, they saw Miss Anna sitting and peeling flowers for Mr. Jose. Hi. They talked to each other very happily. Gregory was about to go in but Scott stopped him. She told him he had left the warehouse with his parents. I have had my own space for many years. We're so far apart that Gregory just knows what to do when he hears that. Following the two people who were about to leave, they heard it, sighed beside them and turned around at the same time, to the direction of the owner's sound. That sigh was Grandma Scott. Seeing her like that, he asked her why she was breathing. It's been so long. My dad is slowly recovering. Then aren't you happy? Why are you happy? She regretted her actions. Scott's past has long been very curious about her parents' relationship before her. I only know that my mother is a dancer and my grandfather, Hoang, is her regular customer. But Anne. The two people's eyes looked at each other every time they entered. There was something about the love of encounter that made her wondering. She took this opportunity and immediately went up The voice asked my grandmother before my parents. How did you know each other? Just dancers and customers. Well, I'm grown up and want to know. Here she tells me after listening to the sentence. I just learned about Scott's grandmother's story. That after a period of contact with her parents, had feelings for each other even he. Hoang also planned to divorce his wife. There to go to Miss Anna. Grandmother knew at that time. Tried to prevent it and even took it. Death to force the two of them to break up with her. Is the biggest cause of hindrance. The two Scotts were quite surprised to hear the story. She didn't think her parents' love was back. When faced with so many difficulties, the more I listened to her, I am even more determined to mend my feelings. His parents then later that day Scott and Gregory. Try your best to cooperate so that your mother and father can being together. Mr. Jose also wants to heal the lost love between him and Miss Anna. So I also offered to cooperate with my two children to convince her to accept his feelings. He once again missed Anna still. Scott Mr. Jose but was shy about it in the past, so she still did not dare to confess. I felt sorry for him every time Scott mentioned it. She brushed this off and knew her mother still has feelings for his father but doesn't. Admitting this was quite difficult for Scott Bear, so she finally gave one. Quite a bold decision that day when Miss Anna is preparing to go to the hospital. Mr. Jose received it as usual. Scott's phone. She was crying. Said on the phone, "Mom, Dad is having a seizure. Had a heart attack and had to go to the emergency room. Mom, come quickly." Miss Anna hear that no. Quickly say something and rush to the hospital. When she entered the place where Mr. Jose had been pushed out, except for Scott, whose head was still resting on his shoulder. Gregory cried and Miss Anna ran in. Asked my daughter how is her father. Then suddenly I had to go to the emergency room. The doctor said it was because my father had a criminal record. More heart disease these days. Dad is often depressed. Thinking too much makes the body weak and weak. Heart compression. The doctor also told me about his condition. That's not very positive right now. I don't know. Miss Anna, when will I wake up? So shocked. I couldn't stand and sat down. Knelt down next to Mr. Jose's hospital bed, crying and saying how he became like this. Like this. Please wake up. Just wake up. I can do whatever I want. Right? Do you want me to come home and live with you? Please wake up. I'll follow you back to Miss Anna. Just finished speaking. Mr. Jose's words resounded. She said it was not possible. Somewhere Miss Anna saw Mr. Jose. I woke up very surprised and didn't understand. Mom, let me know what's going on. Admits his feelings for Mr. Scott. The Emperor and Gregory planned to establish a pretense. This play they asked a friend of Gregory's, also a hospital doctor. This play plays out more completely than Miss Anna. After knowing what happened, she was very angry. Tell Mr. Jose you're too good. Big. But also followed them. He looked at her. Then she smiled and said, but her words had already been said. Then do not withdraw somewhere. She definitely must follow me home. Miss Anna look on face. Mr. Jose's Dak Thang could only laugh. Mrs. Noi was helpless after knowing the story. I won't say anything more to you now. When I'm old, I just want my children and grandchildren to be happy. Happy thinking everything is going well. Beautiful. Then Scott and Gregory encountered one. Another problem is the objection from Miss Catherine. After so many years she still has it. Prejudice against Scott while they were. I don't know how to make her accept it. Then something happened that destroyed everything. Her bad thoughts about Scott melted away. All the grudges she had thought about disappeared. Scott. All this time that day Scott and Miss Catherine. We met by chance at Scott's supermarket. Very enthusiastically greeted her. He had a very unpleasant attitude when meeting her. Scott also didn't pay attention to her politeness. He charged the bill before the two of them went out, accidentally standing next to each other waiting for a taxi. The atmosphere between them was suddenly quite awkward. From afar a ball appeared in the middle, along the road, followed by a little girl. engrossed in chasing the ball without seeing it. The car is approaching at speed. Dizzy, everyone around was stunned. When they have a fever, they stand still and have no time to react. Scott ran out of nowhere and hugged him. Little girl and fell onto the sidewalk of that car. Just keep running away from everyone around. Quickly ran back to the girl's two mothers. Hugged her child while crying and thanking her. Scott, can I thank you very much? Yes. My daughter doesn't know what will happen next. It's okay. It's okay. It's me. I'm glad a middle-aged man recently saw it. Scott's body was bleeding and he spoke up. What's wrong? Go to the hospital to get checked. Check if there is anything serious. Yes, I'm okay, Miss Catherine. Right now. Hearing that, everyone quickly spoke up. That's right. Go to the hospital for a checkup. Finally, under the persuasion of every, the Scotts also agreed to go to the hospital. With Miss Catherine on the way, she asked her why. You're reckless. Aren't you afraid? I'm scared, but I don't understand why. I saw her mother running after her child. I saw the image of my mother appear again. Up, so you just rush out like that to help. If anyone can help, please listen to what I have to say. Scott's sincerity, her heart secretly thought, see, what an honest girl I am. Used to be selfish and thought badly of you. We are right after this. Miss Catherine had a different view of Scott. She also did not prohibit love affairs. Feelings of two more people at the end of the day. The most anticipated wedding day has arrived. Scott and Gregory. That day Scott wore one white dress, arm in arm Mr. Jose Go. Entering the ceremony, Scott was brought to the front. Gregory gave her hand to him and said, Daddy, give it to me. My daughter gives me certain children. Must treat the child well, must give. It's been a very happy family for ages. Its poetry is not as complete as those other children, so you should make up for that. Give it to me. I believe you can do it. Yes, I promise Dad to listen to the words. Scott's father's heart felt bitter. The eyelids can feel it. Depending on Mr. Jose, never showed his love for her outside but inside. Her grandfather's heart is my greatest asset. Her grandfather's life, she felt everything. His love for her she softly called Ba. Oh, I love you so much. I definitely will. Live happily with your mother from far away. Almost holding hands, the grandparents said their daughter was real. It's beautiful. My ears. You can rest assured. Now, my son, our girl has a real family. That's it. Having said that, the two of them looked back. Her side and Gregory smiled. Then, before the incident, witnessed by everyone, they wrote, a fairy tale wedding, a beautiful wedding. Unprecedented weeks after Scott and Gregory returned from his honeymoon, the family had an intimate meal together. During the meal, Grandma looked at the Scott family, laughing and talking happily. Suddenly tears flowed from her eyes, long down to Mr. Jose's cheeks. He saw that. I immediately worried and asked my mother what was wrong. Mom is crying again, or is she not feeling well somewhere? The whole family looked at her worriedly and smiled and said, no. I'm okay. I'm crying because I'm happy. Seeing my children so happy makes me regret it. I hate it so much. I wish my mother hadn't been there all these years. If you forbid me, maybe I'll say this. Voice. She really choked up over the years when she, watching my son keep coming back and forth. She retreated like an invisible shadow. Extremely sad and regretful, even more sorry for her. Even more tormented because it was she who pushed her son. She entered such a life and she was tormented because separate the love of Mrs. Day's son. Ended because of the separation of Miss Anna's mother-daughter relationship, so that her grandchild would have to live without a mother's love. Since childhood, she wished she hadn't because of these things. Social prejudices that make children and grandchildren suffer. Her torment kept following her, year after year, until now it has been erased by the warm atmosphere of family. Looking at her like that, no one said anything to anyone. No words, but everyone understood what she was saying. What do you want to say? Everyone turns around her. Scott wiped 2 lines of tears on his face. Miss Anna gently held her full hands. Grandma's wrinkles and told us, "Understand that mother is mother, everyone wants that. The best will come to your child as well as the mother. So and me too, we don't care. Now blame your mother. Everything is in the past. Not now, all of them. I was so happy. Thank you, Mom, for letting them all hear that. Grandma smiled. Now she felt her heart much lighter because she let go. Have the feelings that have been in my heart for a long time. Now suddenly a picture appeared in Mrs. Heen's mind. Photos of children playing, laughing and talking lewdly. Fake in this warm room. Yes, precious. Dear audience, if you find it interesting, then please give me a like video and subscribe channel. This action is small, but is a great source of motivation for me. The editor welcomes comments, as well as the stories you send about, so don't hesitate to share with. We sincerely thank you. You and yours have good health, moments of comfort and relaxation. Have fun. See you again in the next video. According to